Hello, everybody, and welcome to DRL TV. I am your host, James Pandoff. With me, as always, is Taylor Butcher Benjamin. How are you doing tonight, Taylor?
I'm doing great, James. I've been looking forward to this one for the last couple of weeks. As here we are, the biggest, the baddest, and of course, the most insane track there is, Talladega Super Speedway. Well, typical. We're gonna have 3 and 4 wide racing, but it's getting even more intense because this is a cutoff race, and 4 drivers will see their playoff hopes unfortunately come to an end after this race, and only one driver out of the 12 is officially safe. Jeffrey Meyer, our points leader. So even second place Dakota Wilkins, although he's still 15 points above the cut line, it's possible that he could drop out if he has a bad night. So this is going to be intense from the get-go. Guys have got to really be careful with the bump drafting, and we're in for an exciting night, I believe.
Absolutely. We're here for 75 laps. It's going to be hang on to your seats action all night long as we take a quick look at the point standings as they sit. As you stated, Taylor, Jeffrey Meyer, the only driver locked into the next round. All 11 other drivers, they could be eliminated depending on how they finish. The only driver that I really think does not have a shot would be Robbie Armstrong, who missed last week. So he's pretty far behind the points. But look right there at the cutoff line. You got Adam Free, Cody Gasky, David Lindahl. Those are some drivers to keep an eye on tonight and see how it shakes out.
And fortunately for Robbie Armstrong, that I believe there was, I'm trying to see how many people are in the lobby here, about 22 looks like, and he's 23 points behind the cutoff line. So even a win for him, given on the rule that we have in this league, they have to participate in all 3 races in the round in order for that win to be credited towards locking you in. So unfortunately, he's more than likely out, but he's still here in good spirit and still looking for that first win, even though he won the championship a year ago. But even if he were to get that first win tonight, it would kind of be bittersweet. But quite frankly, you'd have to believe, JP, that everybody in this field tonight feels that they have a legit shot at winning.
That is so true. Anything can happen. As we see Adam Free finishing up his qualifying effort. His second lap is now complete. Let's see where he stands. Looks like he's currently second with the 55.301 at the moment, as he just got dropped to third. And now 7th as everybody's completing their qualifying times. It looks like David Wellborn's currently the fastest on the track with the 55.148. With a minute and a half left, we'll see if anybody's able to bump him off a time. We see Corey Sherman is attempting his qualifying time, getting all the way down to that yellow line. He's doing a different approach to qualifying. Most drivers, they will run the high side the entire warm-up and first lap, and then starting the second lap, they will hug that yellow line all the way around to try to get as much speed cut off, time cut off that they can. The bottom of the track is the fastest way around. As we have, who else is that? Cody Gasky. Looks like he wants to start in the back. He's just creeping his way to the start-finish line.
Yep, same with Dakota Wilkins and Cody Barber.
Dustin
Eichert.
Well.
Yeah, so
gonna keep an eye on Corey Sherman. Let's go in car with him real quick as he's gonna come off of turn 4, hugging that yellow line like I said. He might even go down onto the apron. That is legal for qualifying here on the tri-oval. We saw drivers do that in the Cup race, but it looks like he won't be doing that as he crosses the line with 10 seconds left. So this lap will count. Let's see where he places. 12th. Not too bad for him. You can go from 12th to 1st in 1 lap here, so I'm not...
That's right. And he was one of 4 drivers that are in this field that actually got themselves an official win this week, or last week at Talladega, so he's got to be feeling confident. And how about our buddy David Wellborn Jr.? We know the situation he's going through personally, and not only with, the issue with his wife, but the medical bills on top of it, and we don't know how much longer he'll be around given the medical bills that he's faced with. So good to see him on the pole here and see if we can get a good run tonight. And let's pull him in to chat with him real quick. Hey, David, it's JP and Taylor in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it's great to see you on the pole, man. We know kind of one of the underdogs here, and we know how much this race means to you. How do you feel about your chances?
Well, I'm starting out in a good place. Come close many times here at Daytona and Talladega. I just want to pull it off for my team, Back Porch Racing. So we're going to get out here and we're going to see what we can do.
Well, since you got nothing to lose, I assume you're planning on staying up front as long as you can. And
I'm going to lead every lap I can. Yes, sir.
Well,
I'll be really aggressive. That's the only thing I know. That's the only way to know to win this race is to be up front within the top 5 when this thing comes to a close.
That's right. I guess the benefit for you is that you don't have a teammate in the chase, so it's not like you got to follow team orders or anything. So good luck to you, and hope to see you stick around as much as you can, bud. We know.
Well, I got William Wingfield and I got Marvin Wingfield here, so they're up here in the top 10. We'll be able to work together.
Looking forward to see it as we're about to roll off here, so we'll put you back down, and good luck tonight.
10-4. Y'all have a great broadcast.
Yep, thank you. So let's scroll through the starting lineup here.
Absolutely. David Warborn, pole sitter. Terrence Renee starting second. He's looking for his first win in Dynasty Racing League. He's come close a couple times. So let's see if he can put a good run together here tonight. Daniel Holloway starting third. Richard Springer, he's been on fire as of late in the playoffs. He'll be starting fourth. Casey Drake rounds out the top 5. William Wingfield starting in the 6th position. David Lindahl in that 88. He's on the bubble to advance to the next round. Let's see how he does. Adam Free 9th, and Jeffrey Meyer, the points leader, he's automatically advancing next round. He starts 10th. Adam Breeden 11th. Robbie Armstrong will start 12th. Corey Sherman 13th, and Adam Purcell will start 14th alongside him. 15th goes to Matt Vanacore, and 16th, Roy Grande. 17th goes to Trent Hell and Jarrett Rogers in the 18th position. Austin Collins, his teammate, starts 19th, and Dustin Eicher 20th. 21st goes to Cody Gatsky and Cody Barber 22nd, the Cody row. And Dakota Wilkins will begin 23rd. 23 trucks taking the grid tonight. This is going to be a fantastic race as the pace car leads him down the backstretch. Taylor, how many laps can these trucks go on a tank of fuel?
I did a couple of C-Fix this week. I believe 32, was about the magic number for these guys. So it's definitely a 2-stop race, regardless of what anybody does. And getting to pit road under green, if green flag pit stops do occur, it'll be exceptionally important, not only to not make a mistake and pull a Ryan Blaney, but not speed, not slide through your box, and to get out with people and to pit with people that can help you, keep your speed up once you exit pit road. But as the field rounds turns 3 and 4, like you said, 23 trucks in this field tonight. Dakota Wilkins starting at the very back. You know what's going through his mind, especially how close he came at Vegas to being locked in. And remember last year, he got taken out in an incident not of his making, and that ended his playoff hopes. So hopefully some better luck for him tonight. David Wellborn takes off pretty early.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting that. Green flag is out. He's off to a big start. But the bad thing about that is he's going to get passed very easily as this group of cars builds momentum behind him. They're going to be able to blow right by him.
Yeah, Holloway and Sine are hooked up, and they'll probably go right by him off turn 2.
Yeah, right there on the outside.
Here comes William Wingfield to get up behind Wellborn. Oh, he almost turns him right there. You got to really be careful bump drafting in these trucks. I mean, the front bumpers don't really line up that great.
Yeah,
and it's very easy to turn somebody here.
those guys had a lot more momentum, a lot more speed than Wellborn did, and when he went to make contact with his back bumper, his excess speed just almost turned him right there. You got to be careful of that. We saw in the Cup race in real life, Logano ended up basically punting the 88 because he had so much more speed.
So Daniel Holloway gets a bonus point for leading the lap. That's big for him. He's pretty good on points, third, but, or actually fourth, I should say. So, and of course he won here in the spring race that guaranteed his way into the playoffs, so he's got to be feeling confident.
Richard Springer's trying to work that outside lane with Wingfield behind him.
You can see just how difficult it is to bump these trucks, even going in a straight line.
Yeah, these trucks are very loose. I noticed when I did a couple of official races that as the laps progress and you lose more and more fuel, it's going to become looser and looser in the back, especially when you go through the tri-oval. That's where it's going to be the most hairy, as these guys might be 2-3 wide in that scenario. It's going to make for a big wreck if somebody just touches somebody in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Especially up at the front, because, I mean, it's with the way these trucks are stacked on top of each other. One mistake.
Oh, onto the.
As you see Holloway, you might be looking to just go to the back now that he's got his bonus point.
Yeah, I don't think he liked what he saw. These guys are getting pretty wiggly out there, as that's going to make Richard Springer comes down in front of Wingfield. So Richard Springer to the point. Marvin Wingfield right behind him, followed by Terrence May.
Now, based on what just happened right there, I would assume that although Sine was able to get Holloway out front and for that bonus point, he didn't really like what he was feeling with Sine behind him, so he probably...
Oh, contact,
Casey Drake. Casey Drake gets turned around, caution is out. Hard into the inside wall goes William Wingfield and a couple other trucks.
Adam Purcell makes
Casey
contact
Drake,
with 87
one
at
of our
the end.
championship contenders, as well as David Lindahl.
Let's see if we can see that one more time.
And Casey Drake just got tagged in the tri-oval. It's a really difficult part of the racetrack right here. He just got tagged by William Wingfield, and that truck just, the 83 just walked up the hill. 83 got
loose right there. Into Vanderkoy, Lindahl got involved.
Matt Vanderkoy to 72, yep. But I mean, and David Lindahl, he was already on the bubble coming into this event, actually below the cut line. He was 10th, so this is not going to help him at all.
On board with Adam Purcell, you see the carnage happening in front of him. He locked it down and skid right into the 87. I don't think Purcell is going to have a lot of damage because he was able to lock it down and hit him on the side versus head on, but definitely not a great shape for at least 70 drivers.
I do see some damage on the right front of the 58, so that's going to take some time to fix, but that's what we were talking about. Like, one mistake at the front of the field, you could be minding your own business, and then all of a sudden you're in a heap of trouble.
As the trucks come down pit road for their first pit stop, looks like Terrence Sine has decided to stay out. So if I counted correctly, I think 7 trucks were involved in that one.
And 3 playoff contenders. Well, we went caution-free in this event 1 year ago, and we went caution-free on Monday night in the Cup Series, but we get our first one here after only 3 laps complete.
Hopefully this will put in the back of everybody's minds that there's still 70 laps to go and to take it easy.
And we got to watch on this restart for Terrence Sine in the 30 as the only truck to not pit. I mean, even though it's only been a couple of laps, tire spin is a thing here, at least with this setup that iRacing made. That a couple guys have been in the official races I was in this week. A couple guys were spinning their tires. So we'll have to wait and see. But see who we can pull into the booth real quick. Hey, Daniel Holloway, you got a copy, sir? It's the broadcast booth.
I sure do, guys.
Well, you got you a lap lead right at the beginning there, but then you dropped back where you uncomfortable being up front with that 30 truck pushing you?
Nope, I just wanted to set a goal right now. Teammates in the back, and it's a long race. Got my bonus for leading a lap, and I was just going to be on cruise mode and get with my teammates and move back up front.
Yeah, well, it almost ended up biting you, though, because you had a kind of a close call on that wreck as you just barely missed the 87 truck go. What did you see from your perspective?
Oh, I saw the wreck coming as far as that, but I was on my brakes. There was plenty of room. I wasn't sure which way he was going to go towards the end, and then I started speeding up to get around him. So it was good.
Well, luckily you're still clean as a whistle, my friend. So good luck the rest of the race, and I hope to talk to you later on.
Yeah, hopefully top 3 for you guys at the end of the race here. And it's going to be an exciting race tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we're getting our first caution on lap 3, then I would expect a lot of action tonight. So hope you survive it, man.
Yeah, it should. It's a slick, hot track tonight, so gotta be patient. So that's the key.
That's right. So all right, we'll put you back down as I believe you might be coming to 1 to go. So good luck.
Thanks, guys.
As they actually are not on 1 to go. Yeah, these caution laps, as most iRacers can attest, these caution laps at Talladega. They're tough. But trying to check on the damage repair on some of these trucks, like Adam Purcell and Casey Drake. I think Purcell should be okay. The fortunate thing for these drivers is, as long as you don't have too serious a damage, and if it's just like cosmetic, that these pace laps are so long that you do have a lot of time to get it fixed without losing a lap. Let's see if we can talk to one more driver as we pace here. See if I can find. Actually, here we go. Hey, Adam Purcell, you got a copy, bud? It's the broadcast booth. Adam, it's Taylor and JP. You got a copy?
Looks like he's not there at the moment. He's probably focused on getting his truck back on track, and I'm sure he's not too pleased with the first incident happening so early in the race.
Yeah, it might be better to just kind of leave him be for a while. So,
but we will be getting the 1 to go signal here, and we will get back to racing. You see Marvin Wingfield ducking down back onto pit road. Casey Drake has been in the pits for a few laps now, so he's still getting a lot of damage repaired on his machine.
Looks like he in fact has lost a lap and actually is going 2 laps down, and he's actually out of his truck. So
quite a few drivers actually coming back and topping off.
I mean, it won't really give them an advantage as far as fuel, because they'll still have to pit twice more, but that's probably just what they want to do to hang in the back.
As Terrence is going to elect to choose the outside line, Adam Freeway will be to his inside. Row 2 will be David Wellborn, the pole sitter, and Richard Springer. And then you got Corey Sherman, who started all the way outside the top 10. He's up to the 5th position.
If that's just how quick things can change, and that shows you just that qualifying doesn't really mean everything here.
We'll see how Terrence decides to begin this restart. We know David Wellborn went off at pretty early. I figured he would have waited until iRacing gave the signal for green flag, and you saw how that ended with him being passed on the backstretch. So I think Terrence is going to time it a little better.
That's an interesting move. You must feel that the maybe the 21 has a better chance of pushing him out front as opposed to the 96 on the low side. And Casey Drake is still on pit road, and I think this will put an end to his championship hopes as he entered this race in 7th, only 4 points above the cut line. So, I'm not ruling him out, but it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out if he does continue in this race.
Absolutely. As the pace car ducks off, Tennessee slowly bringing them around the tri-oval. You see a lot of trucks on the inside line. A lot of people had pitted to get damage repaired. That's why the inside line is so much bigger. As the pace car is off, Tennessee bringing them to green flag.
He's clear low, and he does drop down in front of Paris.
Yeah, that's another thing to remember. These drivers cannot switch lanes until they cross the start-finish line.
So I wonder how, I was about to say, I wonder if some of these drivers might be content to just ride for a little bit, but not so far, as they're 3 wide for 2nd place.
Yeah, it looked like Springer wasn't going to settle in behind the 96. He wanted to go to the outside himself.
Yeah, Wellborn all by himself pull alongside the 30 truck.
Yeah, he's using that side draft to his advantage on the right rear of Tennessee. Springer looks like he's going to fall in behind him with Adam Breeden in that 0-1 being the 3rd car in line.
See just how spread out these trucks they are back through the field.
Going 3 wide, Richard Springer. It looks like Breeden will go with him on that high side. They're going to take Wellborn 3 wide as they go into turn 1.
You saw that 29 truck on the inside kind of bob a little bit. That's a really tough part of the racetrack right there. Only 18 degrees of banking, plus there's a little bump down in that inside portion of the tri-oval, so these guys are really got to be careful.
You see Trent Helt all the way up into the top 7. He started in the back, as well as Dustin Eichert right behind him.
And Trent finished 3rd in this race in the springtime, so he knows how to survive and get to the end of these races at this place.
3 wide back there is Austin Collins, is going to lose a couple positions. I think he didn't like what he saw. He's backing out of it, going back up to the front. David Wellborn is leading that outside charge. He's battling what would be 2nd with Adam Farid. Tennessee, the sole truck out front. But not for long as Wellborn has that run to the outside.
I'm curious to see, as we go on in this race, how content we'll see some of these, like the leader up front. If he's content to just stay down on the bottom as we see some trucks starting to drop back. I wonder if the leader will be content to just stay on the bottom and protect that, or if they'll move up the track to get a push from the outside lane. But David Wellborn tried to lead a lap, although he was the pole sitter, hasn't led a lap yet. Although Richard Springer has other ideas. He wants a bonus point to help his chase causes. Yeah, he's getting a push from his teammate Adam Breeden, and he's going to get that lap led.
Springer pushed Wellborn to the lead on the backstretch, but after that he was able to use help by Breeden and get himself to the lead, and now he's in front of Wellborn.
Oh, Wellborn, there's enough room, and although Breeden's going to duck to the outside, although Wingfield, Wellborn's teammate, they're going to use the 2nd lane and hang the 0-1 out on the 3 wide on the outside.
Yeah, it looked like Wellborn tried to go in front of the 0-1 off of turn 2, and when he realized there wasn't enough space, he stuck middle and Wingfield went with him. And now you have the 6th Corey Sherman, the 3rd car in line on that outside line.
Let's see if Wellborn can get a lap led. I believe he will.
Yeah,
it's a nice push from Wingfield. Now, curious to see if he'll leave his teammate out there or if he'll drop down.
Looks like he will drop down.
And And a lot of times when you're, when you have your teammate behind you,
big wiggle there.
well,
30 got below the line. Looks like everybody was able to.
Now some people might be thinking, like, why would you abandon your teammate like that? But as we see Wingfield get a big push from Corey Sherman, and he'll go to the point. Like, why would you abandon the guy on the outside? Because these trucks get really hot when you start pushing them for a while, and you got to get air to that front nose, or else it'll blow up on you in a hurry. Now Wingfield will lead this lap. I believe we've had 5 leaders already in only 13 laps.
Yeah, I think we'll have over 30 lead changes and maybe 10 different leaders tonight. We saw a lot of lead changes in the Cup Series race, over 40 of them in fact.
Yeah, 44 lead changes among 13 drivers in the Cup race. That was quite phenomenal, but not too unexpected. As here comes that outside lane again. Sherman looks like he's able to push these guys the longest without overheating.
Yeah, you see him duck there to the third lane. He's getting air to that. Lindell, lap car, he's going to stay to the high side. Let these guys use the inner and middle lane to get around him. And now it's only 2 cars to the outside.
It's going to be a sickening feeling for David Lindahl, knowing he's going to be getting lapped here a couple more times, more than likely, if it doesn't get cautions given the damage on his truck. So, unless some other things happen up here, it's going to be tough for him to make it in the next round, which is a real shame because, like I mentioned in the pre-race, 4 of these drivers in this field gotten a win in the official series this week, and Lindahl was one of them.
Looks like these guys are trying to make an outside lane pass on Wingfield and Wellborn. You see the 21, the 6, the 30, and the 29 all move up to the outside lane. That's going to actually open the door for Breeden and the 7 of Dustin Eicher to take their positions on that inside row. At the line, that's very close to call. I don't know who led that lap.
That was legit a dead heat. Wingfield led that lap by 0 thousandths of a second, literally a tie. Well, imagine if that's what our finish is like.
These guys are definitely shaking.
Which would not be unprecedented, by the way.
These guys are shaking back and forth as these tires wear more and more. We're going to go on board with Dustin Eicher to see what he sees. The top 6 in front of him.
I can officially report that Casey Drake has retired from this event, so that's going to put an end to his chase hopes, unfortunately.
As you see these trucks just wiggle back and forth while they try to hold a straight line. It's very, it looks easy, but it's really not. It's white knuckle racing all the way around.
Yeah, Geddy Buckner, he made a good point, like when he was announcing some IndyCar races last year, that when you're on board with these drivers, it looks relatively calm, but trust me, these drivers are tense behind the wheel. And these trucks kind of drive the same way, almost like in IndyCar at times, with how on the edge of control they are. As we see Springer get a good push, and he's going to clear that bottom lane. Top 17 drivers within 2.5 seconds of each other. Trent Helt and Cody Barber have lost the main draft, but they still have each other to draft off of. As they're content to just take it easy for a while, but you still got to be careful doing that. If you don't get the caution that you're looking for, you might get lapped if you're not careful. Wingfield's doing a good job. Oh, as he gets really sideways right there. I was about to say he's doing a smart thing by, although he's pushing the 21, he's keeping that right front offset a little bit so he can still get some air while he's pushing the 21. But that's not happening now as the 96 goes back to the front.
Yeah, Wingfield giving him a nice push to lead that lap. We'll see if Wellborn decides to drop down. Wingfield might have enough space if they decide to do it. They got to do it now. Looks like they will. Corey Sherman will become the new leader of that outside line with Terrence Sinay right behind him.
Now Springer pops out. See Wellborn move off that yellow line a little bit. I'm sure Springer would have liked his teammate to get clear of that top line as well, but sometimes you have to, I mean, as awful as this might sound, sometimes you have to abandon your teammates and just take whatever help you can get with whoever it may be.
So far, 3 drivers have DNF'd out of this race with that first incident crash. We've been green since that point, about to be on lap 20 of 75. This has been some great racing up front. As you know, Wellborn got loose.
Oh.
Looks like he got hit at the wrong side of the truck there by the 19, and that opens the door for Springer to drop in front of him.
Yeah, looking at the back bumper on the 96 truck, that was from the very big start of the race where he got that bumper damage. So it might be a little tough for these guys to give the 96 a push without turning him sideways like that based on the damage he has.
And look at Roy Grande in that 77 in that pink and white truck. He's making his presence known. He's the 3rd car on that outside line.
He was a pole sitter at Daytona, the opening race of this season, so he knows how to get around these tracks. Just hasn't had the luck basically all season. But he's making a charge up on that high side.
Tansenay with a great push to help Corey Sherman get in front. Looks like Sherman does not have enough space to get in front of that 96. As Wellborn has that inside line going.
Like it might have been a little indecisive there, but I mean, that's still smart on Sherman's part. It's not worth taking a chance, especially on lap 20 of 75, to take a chance of clearing yourself down to the inside line and potentially causing a big wreck, which, I mean, you don't really need to be doing that on lap 20.
Drag race down the back stretch. Looks like Sherman on that outside has the advantage. Terrence Sinay all over his back bumper, giving him a solid push down into 3rd.
He's clear low. Let's see if he takes it. Not yet. He's still sticking up top of that 30 truck.
On board, Terrence Sinay looking at his nose. You can see him right up against that back bumper, giving him a solid push down off of turn 4 into the tri-oval.
I think what he's trying to do is try to get them both clear to the inside lane, which they both are now, if they so choose, and
looks like
there
they
go.
will.
You can look back at some of these guys that are just hanging out. It's like Adam Purcell, his truck is still up to speed.
Wellborn with that run on the outside of the 6. Tansenay giving him a nice push through the corner. Oh, he got below the 6. Luckily, he backed
Sherman
off.
opened. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide for the lead as Sherman didn't quite protect the yellow line like he maybe wanted to.
Yeah, Sherman got shuffled out there. That's going to give
Oh, and he
Wellborn.
clears himself in front of the 6 truck. That was really close.
Wellborn's lucky the 6 gave it to him. That could have been really ugly, especially being the leader of the pack.
That's what I just got done saying, is that, I mean, it's risky doing that this early. I mean, they made it work, though. Look at Adam Farid pushing the 30 truck up Sinay. I'm sure Farid would like to give him a bonus point. Sherman pops out to the outside. These two have been working pretty well together these last 4 or 5 laps, Sine and Sherman.
Sherman leads that lap. That outside line has a lot more momentum than that inside line. You see Sine and Fury move to that inside, leaving
Wow.
Corey Sherman stranded.
That's surprising. I figured Sherman would have gone down with them, but he's got to get drop kicked to about 4th, maybe even 5th, coming off turn 4, and who knows how far he might drop. And just another illustration right there, just how much these trucks are dancing around.
Sherman gonna make a 3 wide going into 1. He didn't want to get behind Wellborn. He wanted to get around him.
No help though.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get any help as the Wellborn's teammate Wingfield is gonna stay with him in the middle.
They're making some headway.
When these guys cross the line, we will be 1/3 complete here at Talladega in the
Coming up
Dynasty
on
Racing League
David
Truck
Lindahl
Series.
again. He may get through safely as Lindahl now goes 3 laps down. Say the pit window should be. These guys expect to be on pit road in about another 8 or 10 laps or so. It's going to be real important as we see Wellborn and Wingfield go to the front again. It's going to be important when these guys start making green flag stops. I mean, you want to pit with a group of trucks, but not too many, so there's not a real chance of getting torn up trying to get on the pit road. And you know just how dicey it is as these trucks peel off the banking and make their way on the pit road. We've seen how many times in real life there's been wrecks getting on the pit road. As Wellborn leads himself another lap, getting a nice push again from Wingfield. Only 3 trucks up there on the top lane, everybody else single file around the bottom. Guys may be content to just ride single file, knowing that pit stops are approaching here not too long from now. Whoa, Wingfield.
That was close.
And it's really tough to be pushing somebody entering the corner because of how that truck unloads as you. Oh, right there!
Oh, there
Wellborn
they
gets
go.
turned by Wingfield. And around he goes, right in front of a big pack of trucks. Caution is out. As most everybody misses him, Austin Collins comes to a complete stop.
Looks like a bad push from the 19, got the 96 loose. Looks like everybody in the back of the pack was able to get around with no issues there. Let's see if we can see that one more time. Go back a little bit if we can.
Yeah, I'm looking. And Wingfield wasn't quite squared up when he made that, when he gave Wellborn that bump. He was a little bit offset to the right. I mean, a couple of combinations here. First off, I mean, it's tough to bump in these trucks anyway. Even down the straightaway, you can tell. Plus, being offset to the right, as well as that damage that Wellborn already had on his bumper, makes it even more tough. So,
Watching from the start-finish line, you saw the 19 give him a tap into 1. Coming off the corner, 19 is going to have a big run. He's going to try to push him here, and he just gets him too loose. Pushed the 96 into 29. 29 saved it, and the 96 ended up in the wall. Going up to Marvin Wingfield, looks like everybody was able to stay straight. I don't think Wingfield has too much damage.
Well, the luckiest person was Adam Faree in that 29 truck. Although he got hit on the right front as Wellborn got knocked down the track, he was lucky to keep it straight and not have too much damage. That's another one of our playoff guys. Oh, and they're wrecking under caution. What is going on here? Dustin Eichert.
Let's see if we can see that.
Oh, it was in front of him. It was the 19 of Wingfield.
So they're pacing on the track. Let's see what happened here.
I don't know if he just downshifted or something or what, but that truck just hung a right up to the outside wall, and then all these guys trying to dodge it.
Yeah, they're catching the pace car into 3, and I think he just either slammed on the brakes or downshifted.
Well, I would say he downshifted because I mean he was well caught up to the field, and it was not like he had to slam on the brakes in a hurry. But that was really a bizarre situation.
And there he goes right into the wall.
Close call again for some of these chasers as Dakota Wilkins had a close call avoiding the 7 truck.
Yeah, Dustin Ike is stuck on the bank in that very deep banking, 18 degrees as you mentioned earlier. But it looks like he didn't get any damage from that. Very strange.
And a smart decision by Adam Faree here. Stay out, lead a lap, knowing that there is a truck a lap down. Although, he's staying out again. Well, that would be that might not be the greatest decision if he gets 2 degree right here and the pits close on him. I was actually in replay mode. I wasn't quite caught up, but either way, a smart decision, as long as he didn't get 2 to green right there, to lead a lap knowing that he has damage to fix, and that it's not a huge penalty to start in the back. Yep, here he comes now, so... And Marvin Wingfield has disconnected from the race. Looks like David Wellborn, as he pulls on the pit road, might be calling it a night as well. So Richard Springer is going to assume the lead as Faree does make his pit stop. Let's see if we can talk to him real quick. Hey, Richard Springer, it's Taylor and JP in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, boys.
Well, you seem pretty content to be up in the front. You look like you have a strong truck and been up here leading quite a few laps. How crazy is it out there, knowing especially what just took place with the 96 and the 19?
It felt like I missed that by a whisker. I couldn't really see, but it sure seemed awful close. So you'd think it's be safer being out front. And that's what I was thinking. But right now, man, I'm at the front, so we'll see if it works out a little.
And unfortunately for you, a couple of these chase drivers have been having some issues tonight, like Casey Drake and see who else. Like Adam Faree just had some contact right there. David
Oh,
Lindahl.
okay. He stayed out just to lead a lap, I guess. Well, I don't know if he let a lap or not, but he stayed out. I know he just pitted on the second time by, so maybe he's getting something.
Yeah, he stayed out to lead a lap because he had some damage on the right front. So, I mean, you're up here looking strong, and I noticed, some of your teammates, Adam Breeden, and he was doing a good job pushing you for a while, as well as some other guys like Corey Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman, the Shermanator. He gave me a nice push to the lead. I'd rather be on the outside. Then I seem to either lose a drafting partner or something happens and I get passed again. So anyway, I couldn't get to the outside then. I was trapped in like second or third place there on the low line.
All right, now you're doing what you need to do to make the next round. Good luck the rest of the way, man. Hope to talk to you later.
Okay, it looks like it might have been a fun broadcast so far. There's a lot of action up here.
Oh, trust me, it is, and we expect a lot more.
Okie dokie, man.
Yep. As I'm not exactly sure of the lap counter, but I would assume either Springer or Wellborn have led the most laps up to this point.
I believe the field will get the one-to-go signal here, and we will go back racing very shortly. We'll 30 laps complete at Talladega of 75 laps. As these laps tick down, the race is going to pick up. So if you thought what you just saw was pretty intense, wait until the final 10.
Yeah, you haven't seen nothing yet. And these guys, if we go green from here on out, they'll probably have to pit with about 10 to go. So we're down to 17 trucks on the lead lap. It's too bad for Wellborn and Wingfield, as they were working pretty well together up at the front, but just one slight mistake can cause the whole night to come apart. Kind of surprised that Springer didn't take the outside, given that his teammate Breeden is starting second on the outside. I wonder how early Springer might take off to maybe let Sherman in line, assuming, cross the start-finish line. Given how well they've been working together, I'm sure he would want that to continue. Looking back through the field, looks like Adam Purcell as well as Adam Fareed have gotten their trucks repaired as best they can. As the pace car drops off, put lap 32 on the board as Springer holds him down. And there he goes, we're back underway. Inside lane got they're a little more organized down there.
Yeah, Sherman had a great restart, but the driver behind him didn't, so that's going to drop Sherman back as that inside line's gaining that momentum. Shanae, Jerry Rogers, and Dustin Eichert all behind Richard Springer. As
Jared Rogers drops out.
Yep, I was just going to say that. Jerry Rogers is dropping out. That's going to open up a big gap on that inside line, and Shanae's going to push Springer all the way down the backstretch. Looks like we're going to will fill
Rogers,
that
another
gap.
one of these guys that entered this race on the outside of the cutoff line, 11 points. So that's kind of surprising to see him drop back there, given that his teammate Austin Collins was close by to him. Springer comes by and leads another lap. Look at Roy Grande, like you said, James, up in third place. That outside lane starting to form together. You just need some more people up there.
Yeah, Sinead's been very good at pushing all night. He's keeping Springer up there. Those two have yet to have a challenge from that outside lane, as Breeden's going to get up and tuck in behind that 6. Maybe have a go at it into turn 1.
And look at Robbie Armstrong. It's the first time we've seen him up in this front pack. Those are two teammates together as they're looking to maybe drop kick Corey Sherman, and they do. They get to his inside and go up the middle and leave the 6 car up there by himself. And they're making a charge for the lead. They've got a big head of steam off turn 4 here. And look at the two Adams. They've got their damage fixed for the most part, and they're up here behind the DPR boys.
Robbie Armstrong showing his face. That second car on that outside, giving Adam Breeden a solid push, trying to get him to the front.
And Purcell, he's down there in the DPR chat, so he's definitely working with these guys pretty well.
Purcell involved in that first incident. He's up in the top 5. Looks like that damage you see right there on your screen, that right front damage, looks like that's not really harming him that much. As he's able to hang tough and keep up with the speed of these non-damage drivers.
Now I wonder what Adam Breeden's got to be thinking, because he has a teammate up here that he could push into the chase, or technically 2. But you know how bad he wants to win this race for himself.
To the outside goes Richard Springer. After helping Breeden lead that lap, Springer's going to try to take the lead himself.
Oh boy, Breeden.
3 wide.
He didn't quite get down to the yellow line, and he's going to pay for that. Well, the Springer comes to help him. Oh, they bounce. The 30 truck gets forced down to the yellow line. Well, I'm sure Sinead's not too happy about that. As he gathers it up, the 01 disappears. Now he's back.
Fantastic save there by Terrence Sinead. Roy Grande was very generous in letting him come up in front of him. Terrence Sinead not going to lose that much track position.
Yeah, that was a very sketchy situation, though, after Breeden left that door open. What that does is put DPR 1, 2, 3, and technically 4, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, with Purcell behind them as well.
All these guys are pretty single filed out. We're not seeing as much side-by-side racing like we did in that previous green flag run.
Springer leads him another lap as we officially have reached the halfway point.
Fury looking to make a move on that outside. Tansenay, Roy Grande, and now Corey Sherman go up and join him on that outside, trying to make something happen. Now that we're at the halfway point, Taylor, I think these guys are saying it's go time, and they're going to try to make a move. Those drivers that have been hanging out in the back all day, I think they're going to finally be showing their faces up front.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the aggression's just going to keep on increasing as we get down to the end of this race. There's no doubt about it. Especially some of these guys towards the bottom of the playoff grid that are kind of in desperation mode. So only those 3 trucks on the top for Reed, Sine, and Sherman. Now that Sine's caught his breath after that little situation with Breeden.
Yeah, they're slowly but surely making their way to the front.
Yeah,
I think Furry's got to use more of that side draft to pull the inside car back to him.
They're making a big charge up to the outside now. And Ferrari is going to blow by Springer and lead this lap.
Yeah, Sine was all over his back bumper there, and you saw that gap between the 3 and the 0-1. That's what did them in. They weren't as formed up as that outside line was with Sine right on the back bumper of that 29.
I mean, that could just be because they're either getting hot or they just didn't feel comfortable in that particular point in time of pushing at that spot on the racetrack. Is now they're neck and neck up front with Sine and Breeden, or Ferrari, excuse me. So many Adams in these fields. And Roy Grande up there on the top side as well. Who's going to lead this lap? It looks like Sine. We're at that point, I believe, as we see the top line die out a little bit. We're just about at that point where, if these guys wanted to, they have that option to pit early. They're in the window, I believe, to make it a one more stop. Although they still got to think about a green-white checkered, so they'll probably wait a little bit. But we'll see what the strategy is and see when these guys make that last pit stop. Springer pops out to the outside. And there goes his teammate Armstrong. They might have a big push coming from the 6. And you see just how much momentum that top side has.
Springer back to the lead. He might try to duck down in front of 29. Looks like he will.
I kind of just breathed it a bit. As Armstrong comes to the tri-oval, and he'll lead this lap. I believe that's the first lap he's led tonight. And he ducks down in front of Springer. And now Springer moves up top. These guys are definitely displaying what Darrell Waltrip always calls co-opetition. Working with your competition. I mean, it's kind of a oxymoron, but that's what these guys have to do. Springer comes down to cover the insides. We got 31 to go this time by the start-finish line. Still top 16 drivers are 1.8 seconds apart. There's only one truck that's on the lead lap that's out of the draft, and that's Cody Barber, and he has some left front damage. As we see the 0-1 of Breeden disappear a little bit again.
It looks like he's having a little connection issue. If that gets any worse, race control is probably going to black flag him and tell him to get out of the way.
Which, of course, is not a huge penalty here if you just drop to the back, but that's not what the DPR guys want to see, given how well they've been working together up front here.
45 laps complete. We have 30 laps to go here for the Talladega 200 Dynasty Racing League Truck Series. It's been an exciting race so far, and this ending is going to be a heck of a showing. As you see, Adam Breeden moved to the outside, trying to get in front of the 3, or at least side by side with the 3, trying to lead that outside line to the front. That inside line has a huge gap now. That if this outside line can form up, which it looks like it is, the 01 is going to be in the lead by the time they get off the turn 4.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that both Sherman and Sine looks like have been able to be the ones that can push the most effective and the longest. Although Springer did lead that lap, I would have to believe that he's led the most laps up to this point, which is again pretty big. An additional bonus point goes along with it.
Yeah, and this being the cutoff race, everyone's going to need as many points as they can get. Leading a lap, leading the most laps, and race winning is the only bonus points drivers can receive in the playoffs.
Breen comes down to side draft a little bit, although he doesn't have the help. Sine looks 3 wide to the outside, and he's got the 29 and 6 pushing him. They might put they're going to put the 01 in the middle. Oh man, as you can see, it's a tough spot to be in when you're in the middle 3 wide.
Yeah, and it's not very friendly on
Although
20-lap tires. These guys are
He makes it
wiggling.
work though. He was able to get out of that situation, and now he might go to the lead as the 30 gives him a big shove down the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite clear, but he made it work.
Yep. Wow, that was quite a sequence there. I thought the 01 was going to get sent to the back after getting stuck in the middle. Although Springer retakes the lead from him, I know he's got to be thinking, I like you, Adam, we're teammates, we're good buddies, but I need these bonus points. Not to mention I need this win.
"17 drivers still on the lead lap. Only 4 drivers have DNF'd out of this race. We're approaching lap 50. Taking a look at the point standings prior to the beginning of this race, you see the playoff drivers, all 12 of them. Robbie Armstrong, more than likely, he won't be advancing even with a win. Casey Drake was caught up in that first incident, and he's all the way back in the 21st position. I believe his playoff hopes are over unless something significant can happen to the likes of Cody Gasky and Jarrett Rogers, where the point differential between their finishings won't be so significant. David Lindahl is multiple laps down. That's why I did not mention his name. The position difference between Lindahl and Casey Drake is only 3 positions, which is 3 points. So at this moment, David Lindahl won't be passing Casey Drake in terms of points. But anything can happen. Adam Ferrari, you see, he's inside the top 5. He wants a great finish, so he can keep himself inside that top 8 and advance to the next round.
Yeah, Lindahl is right now, he's about to be put 6 laps down as the pack comes up on him again. So he needs most of this field to get cleaned out pretty much. I mean, as much as you hate to see the whole field get wrecked out, that's what Lindahl's hoping for.
Nice side-by-side for the lead. Tim Sine leading that outside charge with Adam Ferrari, Corey Sherman, and Cody Gasky right behind him. The field is definitely bunching up again. You see about 7 cars all single file behind this lead pack. They are slowly but surely gaining on this pack, and it's going to be about a 12 truck battle within the next few laps.
And panning back through the field here, I'm curious to see when some of these teammates back here will be willing to turn up the wick and make their way towards the front, like Holloway and Meyer. Like we saw Holloway, Meyer, and Steven Sims, Bad Boys teammates, pull off this strategy at Daytona and make it work with all 3 of them, I believe, got top 5 finishes.
Yeah, Austin Collins leading the charge. These 8 drivers all catching up to that lead pack. It's going to be about 14 trucks under a blanket.
Yep, and Jared Rogers and Austin Collins, of course, their teammates as well at Highwaymen Motorsports. Although at Daytona, they didn't fare too well as they actually wrecked each other out in the last couple of laps. So they're looking for a much different result tonight. And with Casey Drake's issues, that could possibly bump Jared Rogers in.
Curry got out of the line. He was going to make it 3 wide. That's going to break up that momentum the outside line had. Sinane was in front of Springer for a moment. That inside line's back out in front. Springer leading them. Springer's been doing a great job holding that yellow line. That yellow line's his best friend. Drivers cannot pass him below that line. He wants to stay glued to it the best he can.
And I'm sure race control, especially given what happened on Saturday with Johnny Sauter in the real-life truck race. Not sure if this has been talked about or not, whether if drivers might be penalized for forcing somebody down there. But that's certainly something we got to watch, as Farid gives Sinay a big shove. He's got the 21 cleared, and he drops down and takes that position on the inside. And now Farid with Sherman. Farid leads this lap.
Two trucks on the outside are hanging really tough. I thought the less trucks, the less momentum you'd have, but these guys are hanging pretty tough. Big bump right
there by the 21. Gives Sinay a big charge entering turn 3. I mean, I can't stress just how difficult this is. Even, running in a straight line like this, how difficult it is to push these people and not wreck each other. I mean, they've shown in real life just how on edge these vehicles are.
On board with Adam Breeden, you can hear just how much he is on and off the throttle.
Farid drops down and leaves Sherman hung out to dry all by himself on the top side. Sherman might go from second to about, he has a hole right there, and he makes it. Richard Springer, a little blink there.
Looking at the rear chase view from our leader, Adam Farid, you can see a giant snake, all 16 of these trucks single filed out.
Oh, that's why they're single file, because they're coming to pit road. Springer, Breeden, Armstrong.
Oh, Armstrong on the grass.
Saw a similar situation the other night in the Cup race, but they survive it. All 4 DPR trucks come together, and they'll hope to come out together and not lose that much time to everybody else getting back up to speed. Now you've got to wonder when the rest of these guys might come down pit road.
And this should be the last pit stop of the race. You're going to be able to make it on fuel. I don't think these guys will have a need for tires should a caution come out.
I mean, the tires have been spinning, but I doubt these guys would want to.
And here comes the next
Take that
batch of
chance.
drivers,
Yep,
led
here
by
comes
Dustin Eichert.
Cody Gatsky is in. Corey Sherman.
Dustin
Oh,
Eichert,
Dustin
excuse
Eichert
me, he slides.
flips it. Still trying to get it the right direction. There he goes.
No damage done. He did not hit the wall.
That's the second time he's been around in a peculiar situation and hasn't hit anything. As up front, Roy Grande with a big shove from Austin Collins.
Austin Collins, we haven't said his name that much tonight, but
Grande didn't protect that inside, and they're going to lose that advantage. And Collins is going to get hung out.
yeah, Jerry Rogers, his teammate, didn't go with him. He's probably going to be pitting soon. He didn't want to get stuck on that outside. That's why he's staying to the inside.
Here comes Holloway and Meyer and Grande with a late decision. Oh boy.
He's not going to have enough speed to slow down.
There's no way in the world he was not speeding right there. I hate to say it. I mean, it looks impressive, but fortunately that's not quite legal.
Luckily, he didn't overshoot the pavement and go onto the grass. He was able to stay on the pavement. I think it's going to be a drive-through penalty. It might be a stop in your box penalty.
Well, since it was on entry, I believe it might be just a 15-second hold. Yeah, that's what's going on. He's sitting there and getting held right there.
15 seconds is a big deal here at Talladega, especially when you're not going to have a draft. You're going to lose at least a second, 2 seconds a lap to the lead pack.
I mean, think about it. 1 second is a football field's worth of distance. So you're basically talking about 15 football fields worth of distance. 300 feet. Trying to do the math, like that's about 4,500 feet or so. But needless to say, he's in real trouble unless he gets a caution.
6 drivers, with Cody Barber, who's in 15th. 6 drivers still to pit.
Yeah, Jarrett Rogers got him a bonus point that time, which is important. See what he and his teammate like to do, if they like to stay out, which they are. I think at this point these guys might be in a position where they have to stretch it to... Boy, this is dicey right here,
wow,
getting through some of these lap trucks. But now they're in a position where they might just be running it to the end of their fuel window and trying to spend the least amount of time on pit road.
This is very scary what's going on here.
Austin Collins got by his teammate, although Ferree wants to deny Collins from getting that lap-led bonus point. And he and the 30 of Sine have been working tremendous together, and those two are teammates as well, I do believe. Yep, and here comes the 9, the 99, and the 44 Wilkins on the pit road.
The 29 and the 30 still staying out. I'm not sure if that's the right idea. I think the more people you pit with, the better chance you have.
Oh gosh, Austin Collins, both the teammates have an issue entering their pit box. Collins missed it by a ton, and Rogers overshot his. And that's going to be bad for Dakota Wilkins too. While these two are still sorting it out, he's down and away, and he'll be without a partner.
Austin Collins really having trouble. He had to fully back out behind his stall to re-enter. He's going to be really behind as he just now got into his stall. You see Dakota Wilkins is already on the track. That's how much trouble Austin Collins had.
I'm watching Collins, and he just drove right on by his stall. It snuck up on him in a hurry. I didn't think he had any idea that his pit stall was right where it was, and totally caught him off guard, which, again, these costly mistakes talk about Grande and his issue entering pit road. It's a 15-second penalty. Collins lost about 20 seconds or so trying to get situated back into his pit stall.
The 29 and 30 are the only drivers yet to pit. We'll see if they come down pit road this time. As we're nearing the 10 to go mark, it looks like Terrence Ney will pit.
So will the 29.
Well. Yes. He wasn't quite below yellow line. I wasn't sure if he was pitting or not, but he is indeed pitting. And that will give the lead to Richard Springer, who's on the backstretch. That's how far behind he is. But it is Springer, Holloway, Jeffrey Meyer. We have not said his name once since the drop of the green flag. He's in third place.
Oh gosh, Faree! Okay, he makes it alright, but guys having a really hard time getting in their box with these worn tires and these slick pit boxes. Faree takes right sides, waits for the fuel, and he's down and away. And here comes the pack, and they're gonna blow by these guys. So they're your leaders right there, the top 5: Springer, Holloway, Meyer, Purcell, and Armstrong.
All of these guys are playoff drivers. You see all of them with yellow spoilers. If there's no caution, this will be the 5-man battle for the win. 6th place is nowhere close to these 5 drivers.
Yeah, Dakota Wilkins is still a second back. Boy, he got a tremendous... I thought he would have been in a really tough spot, given that his drafting help with the people he pitted with, the 99 and the 9, having their issues on pit road, that could have cost Wilkins big time, but he was fortunate enough to be able to catch on to these guys' draft. And he's in position where he just needs a solid finish, given that he's second in the points. I mean, I'm sure he's content with a 6th place run today and to let him move on to the next round.
Looks like Purcell and Robbie Armstrong are not quite staying up with the top 3. There's a little bit of a gap forming.
Isn't it amazing? We haven't talked about Jeffrey Meyer once all night, and here he is up in 3rd place when it counts the most. And like we keep talking about, he's the only man that's safe. And it's basically bad boys against DPR at the front of the field, the top 5.
And you see the 99 and the 01 being left. Adam Breeden had an opportunity to win. Not quite sure what happened to him, that he's now a lap down. Oh, the speeding penalty.
That was Roy Grande. Oh, I'm looking back on it. He had issues getting into his box. Looks like he was too close to the wall, then still too far left, and yeah, that's what
about
caused him.
6 drivers who had issues pitting. That's
yeah, it is kind of hard to believe.
One caution, and that'll fix it for all of them, though. They'll be able to get back on the lead lap.
Got one truck peeling off the pit road. That's David Lindahl, 6 laps down, now 7.
9 laps to go.
I believe he's in a position where he's going to be locked out of the next round, which is too bad. So basically a 5-man race up front, plus the 2 lap trucks of Breeden and Collins.
Breeden and Collins are going to need to do all they can to try to get in front of the leader to remain on the lead lap. Should a caution come out, they'll be able to just drive around, and they won't have to worry about a lucky dog or a wave around or anything like that. Terrence Ney's on pit road. I wonder if he didn't get any fuel. It was a 5-second pit stop for him. I wonder if he didn't get enough fuel in the truck.
That would be, I don't know, it's kind of hard to understand what's going on there. I don't know why he would have the fuel unchecked, if you know what I mean. So he's going to go a lap down. Dakota Wilkins is a 6th place truck. He's going to be caught in a couple of laps by Cody Gatsky and Corey Sherman and this snarling pack along with them. But the run for Cody Gatsky tonight. He came in 5 points below the cutoff line, and he might squeak his way in based on the issues with Casey Drake. Still going to be really close to see the last drivers in and out. So now up front, now that these guys, as we see Holloway give a big bump to Springer, when do these guys make the move?
Well, we know the 26 and the 50 will be working together. So that's going to leave the 21 out to dry until the 58 or the 3 can pick them up.
It's basically 4 against 2, and I guess depending on where the 99 goes, but right now, Bad Boys is certainly outnumbered.
As you see Dustin Eichen in that 7 who had trouble on pit road, he's about to go a lap down. That will make 11 trucks still on the lead lap. 6 laps to go.
So what kind of mindset do you have if you're Richard Springer? Because he's in a good spot, even if they all gang up and pass him. He doesn't have to win this race. And certainly don't want to get yourself wrecked on the last lap and lose a chunk of points. But at the same time, another win, that would be 4 wins on the season. That would give him another 3 bonus points going into the next round. So here we go, 5 laps to go this time by. When will the move be? You know they're going to make a move, Holloway and Meyer. Just a question on when will it come. Of course, Holloway looking to sweep Talladega for 2019.
Oh.
He gives the 21 a big bump.
Springer's going to have to just mirror drive basically. As soon as he sees the 26 make a slight move to the right or left, he's going to have to be there to block it if he wants any chance of staying in front of him. As 26 is all over the back bump of the 21.
Oh, caution is out. Trouble up in turns 3 and 4. Terrence Sine is around.
This is
Trent held down in the grass. Dakota Wilkins involved. And he has heavy front end damage.
Let's see if we can see what happened exactly. Looking at the 44.
Going into turn 3. Oh, looks like the 09 of Trent Held just lost it on quarter entry to turn 3 and right down in front of Wilkins.
Greg Grande involved as well.
Well, that's exactly what Dakota Wilkins didn't need.
On board with the 09. Going into turn 3. Oh, he just turned right down into the 44.
It just broke loose out from under him. Definitely wasn't any contact from behind from the 29 truck.
And Tansone almost got through it, but he got clipped by the 44.
Yeah, he owes some net code that caught the 30 truck, but boy, this changes everything up front, doesn't it? I mean,
oh yeah,
it
it just got
it was
loose
just
on
gonna be
him.
it was just gonna be a race between the top 5, and now, I mean, although they're still in good position to at least get solid finishes with some of these guys torn up. But I mean, I'm sure they would have liked to settle it among themselves instead of have to go through a green-white checker restart, which I believe we're going to get a green-white checkered. And again, it's one attempt.
Watch
to try to
the
make
rear
it right.
chase view. It just gets loose from him. It's very unfortunate. That's a game changer for the front group. Looks like it'll be a green-white checkered finish.
I believe, yeah, it definitely will.
It's anybody's
And
game now.
so Dakota Wilkins, despite that damage, because there's only going to be.
Oh, we got pitters.
Oh, we got pit stops.
The Bad Boys.
Bad Boys guys.
Yeah, they both
Yep,
decided
Meyer.
to pit. Corey Sherman pitting, Jerry Rogers pitting as well. Looks like Adam Purcell, Richard Springer, Robbie Armstrong all decided to stay out.
Cody Gatsky stayed out also. See, I believe the free pass will go to Adam Breeden. So I put 11 trucks on the lead lap. And of course, Dakota Wilkins is on pit road. I think Wilkins still should be okay. I think he has enough points, and the lowest, since there won't be any wave rounds, the lowest he could finish is 11th, and I think he should be all right. But still, definitely not a situation he wanted to be put in. So how about the situation up at the front of the field? The top 5 drivers stayed out. Springer, Purcell, Armstrong on the DPR camp, Cody Gatsky, and Adam Faree.
Yeah, taking a look at the point standings real quick, you see that Cody Gatsky in 9th. He's 5 points out of the cutoff. However, you know that Casey Drake has been DNF'd. He got in the first incident of the race, and he's all the way back in 21st. So if Cody Gatsky can get a really good finish, he might be able to get in front of Casey Drake and make his way into the playoffs, into the next round, I should say.
He came into this race 11 points behind Drake, and that was for 7th in points. Yeah, so that's where Drake entered. So yeah, as long as Gatsky stays on the lead lap, he'll finish no worse than 11th. So that would be a difference of 12 points. So that means he could squeak in by 1 single point over Casey Drake. But I mean, it's not over. You still got to make it through this restart.
And if a driver like Jerry Rogers can pick up the win, that could completely change the game for Cody Gatsky, thinking he only needs to finish inside the top 10. If Jerry Rogers were to win this thing, no matter what Cody does, he'll be out of it.
And that might be more of an incentive for Cody to go for it on this restart. Not only, not for, for his sake and pride, and given that it's a win in the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series, but for that very reason, to try to keep someone from Jarrett Rogers, who's behind him in points, from picking up the win. Not sure what Roy Grande is doing there. I believe he just pulled and towed.
Yeah, I think he might be off the pace, too much engine damage. He decided to tow it.
Well, I haven't got many opportunities because this is only the 3rd caution, but I like to try to talk to somebody, although I'm sure everybody's stomachs are in a knot right now. But let's try to see if we can get a word in with, let's see. Hey, Adam Faree, you got a copy, sir? It's Taylor and James.
Copy.
Well, you survived the deal earlier when the 19 and the 96 got together and tore up your right front, but you survived that, and here you are in the top 5 with the green-white checkered upcoming here. What's your approach here? Are you going to go for the win, or you think you're good enough on points?
Oh, wow. I'm going to try to win. Not in jeopardy of wrecking myself, but I don't know. We'll see. That checkered flag is tempting. But I'd also like a chance to run at the championship. So I don't really know. I think it'll just have to see how it plays out.
And well, fortunately for yourself, that Casey Drake, you'll definitely finish ahead of him in points because he was taken out in the very first wreck. So me and James has been talking about, as long as somebody like Jarrett Rogers or Cody Gatsky right there, as long as they don't win, we think you'll be okay. But still, winning the race yourself, like, guarantees, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the best way to guarantee a trip to the next round. Yeah, I have no idea what the point picture looks like currently. I don't know how many if these guys pitted for tires under green, not, so don't really know what we're working with.
I believe, if I went back and looked, I believe these guys did take 2, so
So did I. Yeah, and I don't have my teammate's help. He's been pushing me all day. Terrence Tanay, he got black flagged exiting the pits. So.
that's what that was. We were wondering why he came down a second time, but so thanks for clearing that up. So
he got wheel spitting. He hit the track before the blue line.
Oof, yeah, I know. I've been dinged with that before as well. So coming to 1 to go, I know you're, you know, I'm sure your heart's beating and got some butterflies in your system, knowing what could happen on these green-white checkers. So we'll let you get back down, and good luck on this restart.
Thanks, Taylor. Have a good one.
Well, you could just hear in his voice just how stressful this situation can be.
It's going to be very stressful, very nerve-wracking. If there's a caution, that will end the race. You definitely don't want to be the caution and end up finishing outside the top 10. Cody Gatsky is a driver I'm going to keep my eye on in that 27, currently in 4th place on that outside behind Richard Springer. If he can get a great finish here, he's got a good shot at making it into the next round.
And he's got to be concerned about, like we said, is that 9 truck, because we know Rogers and possibly even Gatsky. I mean, you never know what his mindset might be, because we know for sure that Rogers is in desperation mode.
As the pace car is going to get ready to dock off, Richard Springer choosing the outside line. He will lead us to the green flag. It'll be interesting to see when he decides to go, because he's going to want the 27 right behind him to give him a good push and make sure he stays in front of the 58. And with the three, Robbie Armstrong, Richard Springer's teammate.
He goes right there. He's not wasting any time. Although Cody Gatsky didn't really get the best of restarts.
Yeah, I think Robbie Armstrong got a better push on the 58. However, the 26 is pushing the 27 really well. 21 ducks to the inside. I think Cody Gatsky might have a run at the lead if 26 stays with him. They got
Cody Gatsky up to the outside. He's got Holloway and Rogers up there to help.
They got one shot at this. They got to make it to the line to get the white flag for this race to stay under
Gatsky
green.
To the lead. Will he stay up there or will he clear the bottom?
Jarrett Rogers, where did he come from? He's making
wide.
the 3rd lane.
Oh, Gatsky couldn't quite clear the bottom. Here comes Meyer up the middle to get to the bumper of Holloway.
Yeah, teammates 2nd and 3rd in that middle row. Jarrett Rogers doing all he can with Corey Sherman, pushing him on that outside. If they get to the line, it will finish under green.
Well, Purcell, something happens to him. He drops back. Cody Gatsky leads at the white flag. Could this be his first win of his Dynasty Racing League career? But he's going to have to hold off Daniel Holloway and Meyer.
Yep, the teammates, they're going to stay glued together. This is going to be very challenging for these guys.
And how about Rogers on the outside? You know, he's got to win this race in order to advance. And he is alongside Holloway. He might do it.
Robbie Armstrong to the inside of Jeffrey Meyer. 3 wide for the win, coming off of turn 4. Now don't forget, the line's not in the trioval. It's past the trioval, so these guys got a long way to go.
Oh boy. Who's going to get the push? It might be a 3 wide photo finish.
Oh, Springer's on the apron. He can't do that.
Who's going to get it?
Oh, they touch. They touch.
At the line,
I think it's Jarrett.
Jarrett Rogers, in a must-win situation, gets the win.
Now,
oh my gosh!
I need to confirm that Jarrett Rogers. I believe the answer is yes. I I need to confirm that he did attend the previous 2 races in round number 1.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, what an incredible charge he made up the outside in a must-win situation regardless. And look at him, he's not waiting until he gets to the trial to celebrate. He's as stoked as you can be.
The answer is yes. Jared
Yes,
Rogers
he
did
did.
attend both Las Vegas and Charlotte. So this win right here automatically locks him into the second round.
Wow, how clutch is that? And now a situation with guys on the very edge of the cutoff line like Cody Gatsky and Anna Faris.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Casey Drake will be knocked out, and the Adam Faris will keep himself in the playoffs because of Casey Drake being knocked.
Well, we know 3 drivers who are out: Robbie Armstrong, Casey Drake, and David Lindahl. The question is going to be between Cody Gatsky and Adam Faris, I believe. But how about this 9 truck of Jarrett Rogers? Even after the miscue on pit road with he and his teammate. Man, we talked about first-time winners at Talladega. There's another one right there. Let's pull him in here. I'm sure he's going to be...
As we pull him in, I'm going to replay the final lap for these guys to watch again and enjoy.
I mean, just an incredible run to the finish. It looked like Armstrong was going to get it, then it looked like Holloway was going to get it, then they got together, and Rogers up the outside.
I'll try my best to freeze frame it as the leader hits the start-finish line. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it right on the nose, but I'll do my best. Let's see if we can pull in Jarrett Rogers for his interview.
I got him right here. Jarrett Rogers, you got a copy, buddy?
I got you loud and clear, brother.
Wow, how about that finish in what was virtually a must-win situation for you? You made it happen, my man. You're on to the next round.
Oh, thank God, dude. We've been waiting for this one for a while. I picked a good time to get it, too.
I mean, just talk about that move you made up to the outside 3 wide.
Wow, what a finish.
Flag.
I mean, I don't even know, dude. I just knew I had to pull something out of my hat there, and I was like, I got to give it all I got. I went and got me for tires. I was messaging the guys behind me trying to see if I could get some help, and I got locked up in the right lane and just made it stick.
Yeah, we were talking about that Corey Sherman has been doing a lot of, he was really being an effective pusher this whole entire race, and he was sticking with you the whole last lap and a half there. I mean, certainly got to give a big kudos to him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I made sure to tell him very much appreciate it right after that win right there. Big shout out to Corey. Shout out to the teammate, everybody helping me keep up there. I hate we got mixed up in the pit road, but we finally got in there, and now we're both on.
That was going to be my next question. How, when you had that issue, you and Austin on pit road, what were you thinking at that point? Did you think it was over?
I was just praying for a yellow, brother. That's all I was asking for, and I got it, so we just had to capitalize.
Yep, sometimes God answers prayers.
It's about time. The luck we've had this season, it's about time.
Yep, well, my friend, you are on to the round of 8, and believe your teammate also is. I believe he had enough points to make it in. Of course, we'll double-check these things, but the two of you going into, of course, we're off next week. We're going to Martinsville. How do you feel about that one?
Bring it on at this point. I'm whatever. Come on with all of them.
You seem pretty stoked.
As much crap as I've been through this year, bad luck and just worst finishes, it's finally good to get a win, especially this caliber to lock myself in.
Congratulations, Jed, on the win. That was a fantastic finish. That's a heck of a lot better than I thought it would have been, and this is definitely the biggest moment of your season. The next thing in line, I would guess, would be to win at Homestead. Am I correct?
That's the plan, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we didn't burn all our luck up tonight.
Oh,
Well,
man.
certainly congrats again, and go party all night and maybe all day tomorrow too. You certainly long
Bro,
time coming.
we gotta go to bed, man. It's too dang late for my bedtime.
Oh.
We gotta go to work.
Well, brag about this race to your coworkers
Oh,
tomorrow.
for sure, for sure.
Yep, certainly a long time coming. Congrats again, and have a good rest of the night, pal.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
I'm still at a loss for words. That finish was amazing.
Me too. I mean, let's pull in Corey Sherman real quick. Team up and do not disturb, but see if he'll be willing to get a word. Hey, Corey Sherman, it's Taylor and James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, even though you're not in the playoffs, but a great run for you. Led quite a bit there and came up with a second place finish. And me and James we've noted several times that you were one of the better pushers tonight, and you certainly. We were just talking to Jared Rogers and how stoked he was, and he was very appreciative, I must say, of the push you gave him.
Yeah, that was my plan going into this race. You know, I got really nothing to race for, so I figured I'd help some guys out, push them around. So when that last restart came, I just looked for an opening where I could push somebody, and he went up top, and I just stuck to his bumper the whole time.
Well, certainly an exciting finish. Obviously, we know how close you came and how you still want a win, but I mean, were you expecting this race to be as it was? It was kind of we had some moments where it was tame and some other moments where it was exceptionally wild, like we come to think, but did you think it would be even more wild?
Yeah, it got pretty tame right after the halfway point, and then I didn't think we were going to catch back up. Luckily, the caution came out at the end there. I was trying to push Cody there, but we weren't gaining on the front pack at all, and that caution came out, and that's why I decided, I'm like, well, I'm going to help somebody win this, and I was actually watching the broadcast in my car, and you said that he needed to win, so he went up top, so I pushed him.
Yep, and he's needless to say, I think one of you guys owes each other a beer, but certainly a great run for you. Of course, we're off next week, but Martinsville is in 2 weeks. What are your thoughts about the paperclip?
Martinsville, I'm decent at. I usually get caught up in some wrecks in the short tracks, but I'll try my best and see if I can pull out a win.
That sounds good to me, pal. JP, you got anything for Corey before we let him go?
Congrats on the second place finish, Corey. You did a fantastic job pushing all night. Taylor had mentioned that, and I know you're going to get a win sooner than later. We go to Martinsville in a couple of weeks. How do you feel about that track?
Yeah, short tracks I'm decent at, so we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I put in a little bit of practice and try it out.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck in 2 weeks, and congrats again on your runner-up finish tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, and let's move along to our third place finisher. Although we didn't really see him much of the night until right when it counted the most, our point leader, Jeffrey Meyer. Jeffrey, you got a copy, sir? It's the boot.
Yes, I do.
Well, of course, you came into this race as the only driver safe and had nothing to really lose. So saw you hang in the back for much of the race, and when it came down to crunch time, you were giving Holloway the push it looked like he needed, but came oh so close. I honestly thought that Holloway was going to sweep with the push you made, but talk about your night in general.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. It was just ride around, stay out of trouble, and we set ourselves up perfect. Running behind Richard here with 3-4 to go before that last caution came out, and me and Daniel were just going to jump out the last lap and go around him and get Daniel the win. But then the caution came out, and so
that was definitely the game changer right there, because it looked like it was going to be a DPR versus Bad Boys Racing, the front 5 or 6 right there to settle it. But that caution really mixed things up.
Yeah, that would have been fun, but we still had it that way. It's just, as soon as everybody, we were going to go to the outside, and then Daniel jumped to the inside, and those guys stayed outside, and I followed those guys to the outside, and then as soon as everybody went to the outside, I went right down the middle and got behind Daniel. I said nobody's going to outpush me, so and the center lane is usually the fastest, so we had it won right there. Just the three got loose.
Yeah, we certainly talked about all night how treacherous that Charleville is, and especially coming to the checkered flag, you're obviously not going to lift. So certainly, I'm sure Robbie didn't mean that, but of course you get through Talladega with no problem, and now we go to Martinsville in 2 weeks. So what are your thoughts about that paperclip?
Beating and banging.
Yep, that's all you got to say. And of course, we know you're looking more forward to Texas than Martinsville, but we certainly hope you have a good run there. Of course, you're entering that race with a lot of points compared to most everybody else, given your 7 wins on the season. So,
yeah, I get to have some fun at Martinsville. I'll just gonna go out there and try to stay up front as much as I can or close to it, and it's not gonna be like Dega where you want to ride in the back because in the back is a mess. So I want to be as close to the front at Martinsville as possible and stay up there.
Congrats on the top 3 finish, Jeffrey. That was a fantastic race, fantastic finish. It amazes me how it's like in the last 5 laps you suddenly appear out of nowhere, being in the back all race long. But you had a solid game plan, and I thought either you or your teammate were going to win that one. But you guys put on a heck of a performance, and you, of course, advanced to the next round. So you got that to look forward to, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up a win in that round, and we'll see you at Homestead, hopefully, fighting for the championship.
Yeah, thank you. I knew I wasn't going to do any better than second tonight unless something happened to Daniels because I was pushing him to the win either way. So second was the best I was going to do tonight as long as he was in the race.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give out?
Got to give a shout out to teammates for working good and Bad Boys Racing for still getting 2 top 5s out of this, and DRL for putting on the league, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. Do a good job.
Awesome. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you coming out to compete each and every week, and we'll see you at Homestead.
Thanks. It's been a lot of fun.
Alrighty, have a great night. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Taylor is having a little connection issue, so it looks like I'm by myself to close out this broadcast. So let's take a look at our unofficial results. We have Jarrett Rogers leading 3 laps and winning his first career race in Dynasty Racing League. Congrats again to Jarrett, and he advances to the next round of the playoffs, so a ginormous win for him. Corey Sherman finishing second, leading 2 laps. Jeffrey Meyer, we just spoke to, finishing third. Daniel Holloway, his teammate, finishes 4th, leading 2 laps. Robbie Armstrong rounds out the top 5 with 1 lap led. Cody Gasky finished 6th with 1 lap led. Adam Ferree coming home in 7th, 10 laps led. Richard Springer 8th with 35 laps led. I believe that's the most in the race. Adam Breed in 9th, 2 laps led. Dakota Wilkins rounds out the top 10. 11th goes to Adam Purcell, 12th Austin Collins, 13th Dustin Eichert. Terrence Renee leading 11 laps will finish in 14th. Cody Barber 15th, Roy Grande 16th, Trent Helt 17th, David Lindahl 18th. Marvin Wingfield leading 4 laps comes home 19th. Pole sitter David Welborn had trouble early. He led 7 laps. He'll round out the top 20. 21st goes to William Wingfield. Matt Vanderkoy comes home 22nd. And Casey Drake comes home in 23rd. Taking a look at the point standings prior to tonight, this is all going to change once the standings are updated. But Jeffrey Meyer advanced to the next round, the round of 8, and race winner, Jared Rogers. You see him in 11th. He now advances to the next round. So one of those drivers will be eliminated. Got to update the points to find out who. Be sure to stay tuned to our website and find out who advances. Taking a look at the next broadcast, it is the Dynasty Racing League Cup Series Kansas 200. That is Monday, October 21st at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 133 laps on the mile-and-a-half D-shaped oval. The next race in the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series will be the Martinsville 150, October 30th, the night before Halloween, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 150 laps on the paperclip. Thank you to all the people that make Dynasty Racing League possible. James Pandoff with Owner Financial and Marketing. Thank you to the graphics and technical support, Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez. Thank you to all the broadcasters that make Dynasty, DRL TV possible. David Warburton Jr., Taylor Butcher, Benjamin, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, James Pandoff, Ryan Branch, who did the Cup Series earlier this year, and all of the special guests we've had as of late. Thank you to all the race controllers, Martin Wenzel, Getty Buckner, James Pandoff, Robbie Armstrong, Dakota Watkins, Ryan Hesgard, Jeremy Hebel, Richard Springer, Eric Weatherholtz, and David Wright, who's been doing Truck Series. And welcome back to the broadcast, Taylor.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, folks. I had a little power surge at home, but certainly a great race, and awesome to see Jared Rogers pull it out at the last second. And trust me, when these guys perform in the clutch, certainly got to take your hat off to them.
Absolutely. What a race. What a finish. I'm looking forward to Martinsville already. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Dynasty Racing League TV. I hope you guys enjoyed the finish, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for Martinsville. Have a great night, everybody.